Today, we're diving into a tool that's making a pretty bold promise to completely reimagine the way we do research. It's called TAVA, and its whole goal is to turn chaos into clarity. Let's see how it works. So let me just start by asking a question and be honest with yourself. Does your current research process feel, well, kind of broken? You know that feeling, right? Drowning in a sea of information, trying to remember where you saw that one perfect quote a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, this slide. This is the one we all feel in our bones. I mean, who hasn't had a browser window with 50 tabs open, or notes in one app, links in an email, and a few scribbles on a notepad? You lose sources, you can't figure out which version of a document is the right one, and trying to collaborate with a team, it's just a total mess. So frustrating. And that's where TAVA comes in. This is its core promise, to take all of that chaos and turn it into something structured, something clear. It's all about what they call collaborative learning done right, and it's built from the ground up to bring some serious order to that mess.
So what is TAVA, really? Well, you can think of it as your centralized workspace. It gives you and your team one single organized hub for the entire research journey. Everything from that first spark of an idea all the way to the final report.
And getting started couldn't be simpler. Seriously, the whole thing kicks off with just one action. You type a question into the search bar. That's it. In this case, it's how will AI impact financial risk management in the next 5 years? You just ask what you want to know. Once you ask that question, you create what TAVA calls a project. A project is basically your digital command center for a topic. It's this shared container that holds every single source, every note, every draft, all neatly organized and ready for your team to jump into. Okay, so you've got your project set up. But how does TAVA actually help you go from just a simple question to a powerful, real-world insight? Let's walk through the core workflow. Now, this is where the magic starts happening right away. The moment you ask a question, TAVA doesn't just give you a boring list of links. No, it comes back with a whole starting point, a written summary, a curated list of what it thinks are the best sources, and these really useful dig deeper prompts to help guide your next move. So as you start exploring these sources, you begin to build your project. You find a key paragraph, you highlight it, and with one click, it becomes a note. And this is so much more than a bookmark. These notes are the actual building blocks of your research, and each one is automatically sourced and saved right inside your project. And this is where things get really, really smart. As you keep adding notes, TAVA's Boost Insight feature starts analyzing the patterns in what you're saving. It's like having a little AI research assistant that proactively suggests related topics or ideas you might have totally missed. It's designed to help you avoid those critical blind spots. But let's be real, research is hardly ever a solo mission. So let's take a look at how TAVA handles teamwork and helps you turn all those raw ideas into a final, polished document. Bringing your team in is super straightforward. You just invite people to your project and give them one of two simple roles. Contributors can add notes and help build documents, while readers have view-only access. It keeps everything organized and secure. Simple as that. And this, for me, is a game changer. It keeps all your conversations in context. Instead of jumping over to email or Slack, you can have threaded discussions right there, on a specific note. That means all the feedback, the questions, the brainstorming, it all lives right alongside the material you're talking about. And here's the payoff. This is where all that hard work comes together. On the left, you've got your collection of individual notes, all those building blocks. You just select the ones that make up your argument, and boom! On the right, you see how TAVA's document builder instantly pulls them together into a clean, formatted draft.
But before you call it done, TAVA has one last intelligent check for you. You can run a prompt called "What am I missing?" It scans your entire draft and gives you a list of potential gaps, missing topics, or even counterarguments you might want to think about. It's kind of like having a built-in peer reviewer. Okay, all of that is great for what's happening inside the platform. But most of our discovery happens out there, on the wider web, right? Well, that's where the TAVA browser extension comes in. It basically makes any web page a part of your workspace. You can think of it as your own personal research Swiss Army knife. With it, you can instantly capture text from any article, you can analyze text that's trapped inside an image or a PDF, and you can even translate content from other languages on the fly. And here's what that looks like in action. Let's say you're reading an article online. No more clunky copy-pasting. You just highlight the text you need, click a button, and the extension sends it straight into your TAVA project as a new, perfectly sourced note. The entire web becomes your research library. Now, this is just incredibly cool.
What if the information you need is stuck in a chart, a diagram, or a scanned document? Well, the extension can take a screenshot, use some magic to read the text right out of the image, and then save it just like any other source. Nothing is out of reach.
And finally, it completely breaks down language barriers. You find that perfect, critical source, but it's in another language? No problem at all. The extension can translate highlighted text right there on the page, instantly making global knowledge part of your project.
So, when you put all of these pieces together, what does it all really mean? Well, it points to a pretty fundamental shift in how we do research. It's a move away from all that frustrating chaos and towards a future of focused clarity. So here's the bottom line. The TAVA transformation really comes down to 4 things. First, you get to centralize everything in one place. Second, you dramatically speed up that journey from a simple question to a real insight. Third, you can finally collaborate with your team without pulling your hair out. And fourth, you can create documents with total confidence, knowing every single claim is backed by a source you can trace. And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If you could get rid of all the friction, all the chaos, and all the wasted time, what could you create with that kind of perfect clarity?